Welcome back to the Dad section. I'm Carson Marquis. If you haven't already checked out some of our other videos, make sure you do so. Also, for this video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment to let us know what you thought about it, hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you can get notified when there's new content for you to view. Pet lovers, stick around to the end because we've got one nifty tip for you whenever you get home.
All right, we're now going to be listing off what you need to pack for both dad and the baby. But don't worry, moms, I am also going to have a video dedicated especially to y'all based on my wife's perspective. Dads, always remember that more than likely you're going to be in charge of running the camera, whether that's the video camera, a nice professional digital camera, or just a little digital camera that you have from the store at Walmart, and even just your phone. You need to make sure that if you're using any of these routes that you're very familiar with what it is you're going to be using. That way you can get the best content and the best pictures for your family and yourself. So now we're going to set those aside and we're going to start diving into our actual bag. You want to make sure that you have a decent sized bag, one that can fit all the things that you're going to need, and it fits it rather comfortable. So the first thing that we're going to pull out of our bag is our little hygiene kit that we've thrown together in our little bag. So first, what you're going to want to do is basically go to the store, dollar store, Walmart, wherever, grab yourself a dollar toothbrush, nothing crazy. That way you can have it pre-packed so you're not rushing along to gather your toothbrush that you already use. Also, with the toothbrush, you're going to need your toothpaste. A little travel size is smart to have. Deodorant for sure, because you don't want to be stinking up the room because there's already going to be a lot going on. So make sure you're being courteous to your spouse. Conditioner, shampoo, and lotion. If these are the things that you're going to be wanting for you while in your stay, if you want to stay clean, I do highly suggest bringing travel sizes of those. Chapstick was a lifesaver. We are in a dry climate, the desert, so chapstick definitely was very important. Now, over-the-counter medicine. This is pretty important, especially for you dads. That way, you're not having to leave. Especially if you can't leave, you have these ready to go. If you have allergies, bring your allergy medication, and also Tylenol for headaches and such as that. Also, get a little carrier. That way you can fit all of this in your carrier. And that's basically going to cover all of our hygiene products. Now, as you can see, I'm digging through the pockets in this bag, trying to figure out what I'm going to be going through next. And looks like I'm going to be pulling out our clothes. So clothing is actually a pretty big deal when it comes down to it. I know it seems rather simple. Yeah, bring a few outfits and you'll be set. You want to make sure that you're bringing some pretty comfortable clothes. That way you're staying comfortable the whole time and you're not going to get agitated by those clothes. I brought 3 pairs of shorts that were a sweatpant material, 3 short sleeve shirts, and of course 3 socks and 3 sets of underwear. One thing I do have to say, if you are planning on packing just these, you want to make sure that you're going to pack 1 or 2 extra outfits. The only reason I say this is because based on our experience, we were there a little bit longer than we planned on doing so. Our baby did come out premature, so we had to stay an extra few days, and I actually ran out of clothes, so I felt a little icky, and if you're in the COVID situation, you know, you're not going to be able to leave and you're not going to have access to get these clothes washed, so you're actually going to be re-wearing those clothes. So I highly suggest bring more than just 3 pairs of clothes because anything can happen and you want to make sure that you are prepared for every situation. I'm going to go ahead and set these all off to the side, and I'm going to show you a little trick that I had learned through my military training, which is basically to save space with your clothes, you're just going to roll it up. I'm sure you can see these on YouTube and other videos. I learned it whenever I went to basic training, but all you're going to do, flip your shorts in half and you're going to roll it nice and tight, keep it compact. You can even get rubber bands to keep them nice and closed, that way they don't roll out. I didn't do that, but looking at it now, it seems like it'd be a pretty good idea. With your shirts, just fold it in half from top to bottom, take your sleeves, fold it in, and then take it and half the rest of your shirt. You're going to do the exact same thing that you do with your shorts. Go ahead and get it nice and tight, roll it nice and smooth. You don't need to be worrying about, okay, is it going to be wrinkled, this or that, because you're only being in the hospital. You don't need to worry about it. It's not about you. It's going to be about the baby, and that's pretty much it. So that's going to cover our clothing. We're going to move on to, I do highly suggest bringing a nice comfortable pair of shoes. I did bring these Crocs. They're pretty worn, but they're very comfortable, and they're not just regular Crocs. They're actually slipper Crocs. They have great traction. That way, whenever you're walking the hallways, it is something that's going to be very comfortable. So make sure you do bring comfortable shoes. Next on our list, we're going to be going over some necessities for technology-wise. You want to make sure that you have your phone charger, whether it's for an Android, Samsung, whatever. Make sure you do have your phone charger because you're going to be there for a while. A portable battery pack, and also your headphones. These are going to be pretty important whenever you're just sitting there in the hospital. You have your headphones that'll help with staying up through the night. Your battery pack, it's going to be nice because if you're wanting to be portable, but your phone's almost dead and you need to have your phone on you so you can keep in touch with your family or whatever the case may be, you can go ahead and walk around with it charging on your person. And then, of course, having the cube with the charger, that way you can just stick it in the wall outlet as y'all sleep so your phone is nice and prepped for the next day. This charger does double for the headphones, so it kind of just worked out for me. All right, so we're going to be close to the last thing on the list. We're going to be going over personal entertainment. So I did bring my personal little gaming device. It's a Nintendo DS, the first generation, really old, but I've had it since I was a kid. It's like, okay, maybe I'll play this if she falls asleep and I get bored. But I didn't actually use it, but different personalities, so somebody out there may want to have that, so do keep that in mind, just something to keep you busy, or even your spouse if she wants to be playing it. And finally, the most important thing that we actually used were playing cards. We played cards a whole bunch, and that's going to wrap up pretty much all of our stuff that we have in our bags. Make sure that you pack it back up kind of just like this. One final thing that I do want to mention, you want to make sure that you have your wallet and cash for the vending machine, because you're going to want other snacks that the hospital is not going to be able to provide through their food services. So do make sure to have vending machine cash so that your spouse or you can have whatever it is that you want. Now we're going to take our dad bag and push it over to the side, and we're going to move on to our baby's bag. Now, I am using my tactical bag that I had done in a previous video for my bag, but I wanted to go ahead and swap it over to the baby's. These few things that I'm going to be covering next are things that are going to be not necessarily essential because the hospital is going to provide it, but it's going to be your wipes that I just showed you on the side. And then I'm also going to be bringing about 4 diapers, a good set of diapers, and also a container that has formula and a bottle. Now, if you want to be over-prepared, this is definitely something that you can do. Like I said, the hospital will be providing diapers the entire time. They're also going to be providing formula if you are going the formula route. If not, of course, you will have your lactation consultant talk to you about that. And then quick side note about these bottles, I'm actually going to be doing a video on what kind of bottles we got, how we clean them, and how it works well with the formula, but more on that later. Next, you want to make sure that you have your going home outfit. This is going to provide a good level of comfort for your baby whenever he's riding home, and also you can get some really cute pictures out of it. Next on our list, we're going to be talking about socks and mittens. Now, socks and mittens, we actually didn't use them while we were there, but this is something that I highly suggest that you do use, because the mittens are pretty important. Whenever they're born, they have their nails and they can scratch their face. This is something that I wish we would have thrown together a little bit more. We actually did bring them, but the elastic got worn in one of them, so it wasn't working out too great, and he was premature, so his hands weren't fitting. But if you have them, it's going to keep his hands nice and warm, and he's also not going to be able to scratch his face. Along with the socks, it's going to keep him warm. Next on the list, we are going to be talking about a sleep sack. Sleep sacks are actually really nice because whenever it comes to diaper changes in the future, you can just unzip it, pull his diaper off, and you can slap another one on, zip him up, and he's good to go. So we're going to go ahead and lay out all the items like we did with the last one. So we've got our sleep sack out, our coming home outfit, the socks, the mittens, the bottle, the diapers, the formula I'm trying to get out right now. I'm struggling real hard, but we got that pulled out. Then we've got some Desitin. The only reason I show the Desitin is because it's actually a butt cream for diaper rash. It's pretty important. Our baby actually had an issue with that, so it was good to have some Desitin. I'm sure the hospital will take care of that for you, no problem. And another good thing to have would be pacifiers, passies, or binkies, whatever it is that you want to call them. But we asked our nurse and our doctor, when should we be using these? And they said it's really your preference. If you want to do it straight out of the gate, go for it. And so we went ahead and did that, and he's found comfort in it ever since. So we're going to set those aside. And next on our list, we're going to be talking about the kind of blankets that we brought. We brought both a swaddling blanket and a receiving blanket. Me personally, I don't know what the differences are. I just know that the receiving blanket is a little bit thicker and very soft, and I liked that one a lot. And also the swaddling blanket, it's a lot more thin, but it's significantly bigger, and it does make swaddling a whole lot easier. And of course, you can use both for swaddling, but if you are going to swaddle, use the swaddle blanket because it's so much easier because you have so much more material to be working with. As you can see, it is a pretty decent size, and we're going to set that off to the side as well. And finally, I show this, you're not going to be packing this, but I just show this just because for any of you out there that are going to be having a son, this is the cream that they're actually going to be prescribing you to help with the circumcision if that is the route that you choose. But now that we've pulled pretty much everything off to the side, I'm going to pull these wipes out real quick just to have it all laid out for y'all. Last but not least, I want you to be bringing your car seat because, of course, you are going to have to bring your baby home some way. That you can see some accessories that are on the inside. We'll go over that in another video. But you have to have the car seat in order to bring the baby home. So bring your car seat. We have the Chico Key Fit 30. There will be another video on both the accessories and the car seat itself. So make sure you have all these things in your bag so you're prepared for every kind of scenario. You don't have to bring the diapers and all the other stuff that I was talking about because that is just being over-prepared. But if you do want to be over-prepared, do bring diapers, wipes, and formula. Now just remember, I only say to bring diapers, wipes, and your formula. That way you're over-prepared. But if you don't want to bring that, then don't worry about it. The hospital will be providing that. I will also say it is good to have a good-sized bag for the baby, because you are going to accumulate some things from the hospital, whether that's diapers, extra formula, whatever you're going to go home with. You have a good amount of space so that you can take it all home in. So, like I said, do bring a decent sized bag for baby stuff. You aren't packing a whole bunch, but it'll be nice for packing everything. Alright, so now it's time for our pet lover tip for today. If you do by chance get the opportunity to leave the hospital or have somebody come and grab an article of clothing, I suggest you do so. What you're going to do is you're going to take a beanie or article of clothing that the baby has worn. That way you can take it home and let your dogs get a real good smell. As you can see, I had all three of our dogs take a good smell of that onesie that we had brought home from him. That way they could get used to them before. Make sure they do get a real good smell for it. That way they're getting a good scent before the physical meet.
So that's going to wrap up our video for packing list for dad and baby. If you did like this, please give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and of course subscribe. If you want to check out our delivery experience, make sure you hit both parts 1 and 2. This is going to be it for today. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.